Most of us know Thoth. He's a very popular Egyptian god. He's also one of Satan's demons. He is extremely intelligent, and he worked a lot to bring knowledge to humanity. Spiritual knowledge. Because of scholars and archaeologists digging up ancient Egypt and the papyrus and that, hieroglyphics, holy writings is what it means. The word hieroglyphic is holy writings, sacred writings. They misinterpreted a lot of it because they lack spiritual knowledge. For example, Akhenaten had both male and female physical features. And this is an allegory. Akhenaten symbolized the male and female aspects of the soul merging together and becoming one, to where they have power together. That's how our soul works. Our souls have been split up by the enemy, and years of people not meditating or not even realizing they have a soul, just remaining helpless, unfortunately. But this theme also yoga, okay, and yoga has been infested with Christian teachings, unfortunately, just polluted with it. But the real meaning of yoga is union, yoke, to bring together, and that's what yoga does. And as I've said many times before, there aren't any laws. Of course, most people should have a sense of ethics. Okay, it's important to have ethics for civilization to continue, but there aren't any laws like what you eat. Of course, you live on a diet of junk, that's not good physically. But there aren't any laws. You can eat what you want. Your sex life doesn't matter. Who or how you have sex is your own personal business. How you think and how you live your life basically doesn't really have much bearing over advancing and amplifying and using this power of the soul. The only thing that does affect it is ignorance. Knowledge is the key to everything. And regardless of what you're using it for, your strength, your power, how powerful you are, that's what matters. Now, Thoth, he wrote a lot. The papyrus of Hunefer and the papyrus of Ani, different writings. Thoth left information, but also I want to get into is I've written about this in the Joy of Satan website and in the e-groups. There are these New Age people who are, New Age is also infested with Christianity and Christian crap to deprive people, teach them false knowledge, to corrupt knowledge, and to make sure that these people don't advance. And as I in my sermon on black magic, justice, if there's no justice, there's total chaos. And with total chaos, you can't have civilization. Everybody just dies out. There has to be a sense of justice, and that's what black magic is about, is being able to defend yourself. But this sort of thing is like seen as something negative, anything that has to do with justice or standing up for your rights, that would, enable you to be a free person and not a slave. Okay, standing up for yourself and your rights, and on the TV and these movies and that is subliminally highly discouraged to have any sense of self-esteem and to punish those who have seriously wronged you. Okay, black magic isn't something you just take as a joke or throw around. It's something if someone does you dirt and you just you're gonna turn the other cheek. Someone walk into your house, butcher your spouse, rape your kids, just murder your family, and Jesus loves you. That's sick. And anybody that lets that sort of thing go is not only encouraging the perpetrator to do it again, but it's just passing the buck and in its own way destroying civilization and destroying life and basically cursing your own people through cowardice, inertia and being totally saturated and indoctrinated in fear, having low self-esteem, and just a virtual worthless person. As I mentioned before, black magic is justice. I'm not talking about, somebody's having a bad day or squabbles or whatever. I'm talking about serious wrongs that, if you don't put a stop to it, you're just passing the buck and they're going to do it to somebody else. Because there's a lot of rotten people out there, and if they're not dealt with, they're going to destroy. Just like a bacterium or a virus or a fatal disease will destroy a body. Which if each one of our cells in our body turned the other cheek, we'd be dead within 5 minutes. Okay, so this has to do with natural law. Even an animal has enough sense. But these Christian programs and all that crap that work endlessly to indoctrinate people with lies and instill a slave mentality of low self-esteem, what anybody does to these victims of Christianity, and that it doesn't matter. Anybody can do anything they want to. I'm going to fight back. I'm not going to do anything. Then they're going to just wind up extinct. And they're better off extinct because there's no use to life or anything else, people like that. Natural law is you have to fight back. Life is fighting. You constantly have to fight whether you realize it or not. You have to kill to eat. And even vegetarians kill vegetables. I mean, it's a natural law. No, it's not pleasant. But the point is, things can be done humanely in a decent society where, people eat, but it's natural law. And once you stop fighting, you're dead. And that's what these slave mentality, you can do anything you want to them, they live for their death. That's what the enemy works, so they can take over the world. And everyone in it wind up as their slaves. And it's written in the Jewish Talmud about that. How the Jews rule the world and the Gentiles are like animals and they're slaves. And that's the whole purpose of the subliminal deal with the Nazarene. The truth here about Thoth, what he taught truth. For example, certain questions in the Book of the Dead is reportedly written by Thoth on how not necessarily judged, and the enemy judges certain things, like if they deem something worthy to become part of their amalgam of souls that they use, which I've spoken about this and written about it extensively. They judge what they can take and what they can't take. Okay, I ain't part of that. But evaluating one's life is written in the Book of the Dead. How you live your life. And Thoth brought us truth. Did the deceased embrace life enough to be able to live again in death? If you don't do anything with your life and you're led by these false programs that they have the audacity to call religions into just total abstinence, what's the point of living? A person has to live and experience things and live life to the fullest. And that's what Satanism is all about, is living one's life to the fullest, gaining knowledge, gaining experience. Life is to be lived and experienced, not somebody just sitting and staring out a window like a Catholic nun or something like that. Did the deceased develop a strong enough character to continue his or her personality? I don't know how many times, and this just sickens me personally, okay, my own personal experience. I've seen so many of these people, okay, and given today's, Christian indoctrination, all this crap, about a person's personality, you hear these people, never hear a peep out of them, never hear a word, and like I said, just no personality or nothing, plastic people, okay? And I tell you, plastic people can't stand me. They never have been able to, okay? And I've had a lot of clashes with them. But, no personality, just a total blah. And then you hear these people with these weak egos just fawning around the total blah. Oh my, isn't she just a saint? And all this crap, which is, it goes with Christianity. Everything you are and everything you have is just stripped from you. And oh my, heaven forbid should you speak up on something or complain. People who don't complain or say anything, actually that's a weakness. Satanism is about being strong. You know, taking any kinds of abuses. I know there's certain situations where it's best not to up front. But just taking all kinds of crap, total perfect slave, never complains, just sitting there with their Catholic rosary and all their crap, just a saint, because there's no threat to anyone's weak ego out there. And I tell you, it pisses me off, these people, because I've seen a lot of it in my lifetime, even as a child or something, just a total, one step above a mental vegetable sitting there and, I'm just a saint, and all this crap. Well, what's there to even interact with? Just nothing. Basically nothing. Is the heart of the deceased person truly open spiritually? Now, this isn't anything negative. What it means is enough to be able to use your own powers, to be able to communicate with demons and to advance yourself. Are you open enough spiritually to control your own fate instead of being knocked around like a billiard ball, where a lot of people are at, unfortunately, because of these Christian programs and all that garbage. Did the deceased apply enough effort to surpass physical limits? The man who broke his own egg in the Egyptian myth. And this has to do with exercise, and that yoga is one of the best things. I mean, I know a lot of people probably can't exercise, don't have the time, but if you can, it's very, very important to do something physical in addition to spiritual, because the body and the soul work together. And if you have a strong body and a strong soul, you're going to make a lot more spiritual progress a lot faster. And when I say spiritual progress, I'm talking about getting onto a higher level and controlling your own destiny instead of life knocking you around. That sort of thing. Taking control and being a master of your own destiny. Did the deceased make an effort to acquire possession of their eternal soul? Now, this is just what I said. And, you have to work towards being free in order to be free. You can't just expect freedom to come to you on its own, because it's not. You have to make effort, and you have to work for it. You have to fight for freedom, just the same as Satan and his demons are freedom fighters. They're freedom fighters. And as I mentioned before in my other sermon about our founding fathers here in the United States of America, they were freedom fighters. You have to fight for freedom, which Satan shows us the way through mastery of our own soul and our own body. Did the deceased make the words of truth a reality in everyday life by practicing them? It's very important to know truth from lies. And when we embrace Satanism, we learn truth from lies, and to separate the two. And people who have studied enough, knowledge is everything. Thoth is a god of knowledge. His wife, Seshat, she was the head librarian when the gods were here on Earth and taught humanity. Egypt was attacked because Egypt was like a hub of spiritual learning. And the Christians realized this, and they sacked the library in Alexandria and burned it to the ground. All the books. Moses. Okay, the biblical Moses is a fictitious entity that was invented by the Jewish people. Another one. Stolen from Thutmose. And the basket, the reeds and the river, all of that were stolen from Sargon, which preceded that. That was a so-called myth. And these myths, okay, Moses excluded because it's a